Hi guys, James Mason here from the Our Build Handyman and Home Improvements. Today I'm just going to share a quick video with you guys on how to draft a construction schedule and tell you a little bit about what a construction schedule is. So to start with, let's have a look at this template we've got here. What this brings up is basically a list of all the trades that would be involved in your day-to-day project, right through from the start to the very end. So a list of those trades, and then you've also got a list of dates across the top here. Now what we do with this construction schedule, what a construction schedule is, it's used for managing resources for any project. So whether it be through a new home, a renovation, bathroom project, pergola, anything. Basically anything that has multiple resources that need to be booked in for start dates. The start of this sheet, there's also a little bit of data, a little bit of information here that we input just to produce some of the other stuff back into this sheet here. Anyway, let's have a look at a schedule that's already been drafted. Here for this one, it's a construction schedule that I'm doing for my own project at the moment. You'll see here that it's been filled out with all the resources that are going to take place. So from the very start of the job, moving some stuff around, we've then got the demolition of the roof structure. During that time we're going to have tarps set up above the first floor addition. We're also going to have, after the roof's been demolished, carpenters come in. We'll have scaffold set up over the property during that time. And then after the carpentry's being done, we'll have bricklayers come in, and so on and so on. And that basically goes right through for the duration of the job. Trades coming in after each other in sequence of critical path, and then it'll take us right through to the end of the project. So this one here will go for 24 weeks. That's basically when we've finished the painting and ready to move in. So what that looks like in relation to an actual set of plans is this. So stage one for us will be putting this first floor addition on top of our existing property, and that schedule just maps out all the work that needs to take place from start through to the finish. Stage two will be down here. I haven't done a construction schedule for that. That'll be the lower level for the man cave, and then we've also got the garage workshop area as well too. So back to the schedule that we're going to produce. Let's have a quick look at it. So go back to the schedule template. What we'll use today for this example will be, let's do a little bathroom renovation. So this bathroom we're going to renovate, it's basically about 2.2 meters long, 1.6 meters wide. It's going to have a wall hung toilet, a vanity, a couple of shower roses, heated towel rail, and some built-in cabinetry along here, built-in shaving cabinet. Pretty straightforward little job. Looking at the plans, there's the built-in shaving cabinet, toilet, basin, shower rose, and then side elevation shows some of this cabinetry through here where we'd have to frame this out. And then we've got your shower screen. We'll look at some of the photos of the existing bathroom so you can get a gauge of what it looks like currently. Alright, so you can see here pretty drab old tiles, toilet, bath and basin. Bath takes up a fair bit of room in this small area, so it's a pretty confined little space. So what we'll do is gut all this out and put in the new bathroom that we've. Now to fill this schedule out, all you do is you drag the cursor over the blocks that you want to fill in, and you go up to the top here. We'll pick a colour that's nice and easy to see, the blue, and we'll fill that in. So what this 4 weeks is going to represent is actually getting ready for the job to start. Prior to doing that though, I'll probably jump ahead a step here. Let's go to the job data sheet. So in here we're going to put in what the job number is, 5555. And we'll just call it revision 1. This could be revision 2, 3, whatever it might be. Let's call it James Mason. And the suburb will be Sydney. Okay, now date down here, today's the 17th. Let's say we're going to start in a week and a bit's time. Let's say we'll start on the 28th. So contract start date will be the 28th of the 4th, 14. And from start through to finish, let's just say it's going to take us 10 weeks. We can come back and adjust that. It's always hard to tell until you actually go through and work it out. We can come back and adjust that to suit. There's public holidays and things down here. All those dates need to be adjusted. This schedule's pretty old, but we won't worry too much about that for this point in time. But there's other data in this sheet where you can put in progress payments and all sorts of variations and things like that. So back to the schedule. You can see here it's populated the start date of the 28th, and 10 weeks time we should have a handover date. Yep, see handover there. So we'll go back to the start. And what I initially first started doing here was 4 weeks. So let's say that 4 weeks is just going to be for prep. That'll be getting ready to select your tiles, select your basins, taps, lighting, everything that's going to go into that bathroom. So you're going to need to get out there and shop around and basically do some selections. So you can just put some notes in here. Let's just put select. So 4 weeks of selections, and then our start date is going to be, actual starting on site will be the 26th. So the first thing we're going to do is site establishment. It's going to be a day for site establishment. Fill that block in, and what that's going to be for is things like getting the skip bin to site ready for the demolition, putting down some plastic in the hallways to protect the floors, getting our tools on site, putting up a site fence, safety equipment, all that sort of stuff. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to come down to the demolition. So for a set of plans like that, to gut a room of say that size, you do that in about, look, a guy and a couple of skilled contractors would get that done in a day quite easily. But let's just say you're going to do this job yourself, then you'd want to allow at least a couple of days. So let's fill in 2 days there, and we'll just put strip out room. Do the strip out. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to change a bit of that plumbing around. So back to the plans. You can see the bath used to be there. I think the toilet was over here. So the plumber's going to need to run some new drainage through all here. So we're going to need to chop up some of the floor. So let's go back here. We'll put in under excavation. We'll put a day there where we'll fill that. Our plumber's going to do the breaking up of the floor. So we'll come down and find our plumber. And we'll put in 2 days for him. A day to break it out and a day to actually run all the drainage and everything in. So we'll just put a note in there, drainage. And then the next thing after the drainage goes in, we're going to want to concrete that floor. So we'll come back up and find the concreter, and we'll put a day in there for the concrete to go in. Alright, now after that concrete's gone in, everything's been stripped out, we've got a shell of a room. We're going to need the carpenter to come in and frame up for some of this shelving that's going to be needed in through there. So let's go back to the schedule, and we'll find come down here and we'll find our carpentry, and we'll put in a day for the carpenter to do that framing. That's pretty straightforward, so we'll write in there wall framing. Now if you're unsure, you could always give that a couple of days just to allow a little bit extra, just so you don't shoot yourself in the foot. Alright, now after the wall framing's up, next thing would be for the plumber and the electrician to start running their new services. So we're going to need new hot and cold to the toilets and taps, and we're also going to need new wiring. So we'll run down here again, find our plumber. In theory they could both do that in a day, but let's put the plumber in from day one, and the next day we'll put the electrician in so they're not working over the top of each other. And we'll just write it there, rough in, and same here, rough in. Okay, so after we've had the plumbing electrical roughed in, the next thing would be to probably sheet this wall here with some villa board. So we're going to get the gyprocker in to do that. Come across, and he's going to be there. In a day we'll do that. Find the renderer, and we'll put him in for a day there as well. We'll just put him patching. Okay. So after that's patched, you're going to want to make sure that the render uses an acrylic render, which means it'll dry within 24 hours and then you can work over the top of it. If they used a cement render, you'd need to leave it at least a week to dry before you can do the waterproofing. So the next thing we're going to do is the actual waterproofing. So we'll come down here after the rendering. Now let's put in, there's going to be 3 days that we need to take up for the waterproofing. Now the reason for that is, day 1 would be the first coat, so we just put down there first. Day 2 would be the second coat of membrane, and then day 3 would be drying before anyone could walk on it. So you can see coming down through here how it's all sort of cascading down. This is critical path, and a lot of it's pretty common sense sort of stuff. You know, you can't start the waterproofing until you strip out the bathroom. You know, and you couldn't start tiling until you got all your services in. So I can do this pretty quick because I've been doing it over the years, but it's something that, like I said, is pretty common sense, and you'll get a bit of a gauge of it as you go through. Alright, so after we've waterproofed, next thing would be for our tiler to come in. I would say that the tiler's going to need, it's pretty fiddly, let's just say we're going to give him a week. So we'll block out a week there, and we'll put in wall and floor tiling. floor, that'll do for now. After it's been tiled, we're then going to get our plumber and electrician to come back and fit off their toilets and taps and heated towel rails and things. So the same deal, we'll put the plumber in for one day and we'll put the electrician in for another day. And we'll just put in their fit off. And fit off. Okay. So what do we got next? So we've had our plumber and electrician fit off all their items in here. Next thing probably would be for the shower screen installer to put his shower screen in, and also for the joiner to put in his cabinetry here as well. Alright, so let's come down here, find the glass screen mirrors, put in a day for our guy there. Don't know why it's gone over 2 days, must be a bit of a data problem there. Let's just put in screens. Okay, and then we'll come up and find our kitchen joiner. Oh, something's playing up there. Anyway, we'll put the 2 days in. You can see what it means. Probably only a day for both those guys. Let's just put in shaving cabinet. Alright, so once that's gone in, we're then going to look at our painter. Painter will come into ceilings and around windows and touching up what he needs to do. So he'll have a couple of days. Let's put in there painting. Done. Alright, I'm sure there's some other little odds and ends that I may have left out, but that's got the bulk of it, and for this video at least that gives you a bit of an idea of how all this is going to work. So looking back over our schedule as a bit of a summary, like I said, we've got all the trades down here. We obviously don't need that many, but like I said, it's a full list. We've got our 4 weeks of planning up front to get all our selections done, and then coming across here, this is a bit of a map from start through to finish of what the bathroom renovation should take. Now that's been very easy going with a lot of this. That means actual time on site for construction will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. I've actually done this renovation myself, and we did it in 2 weeks. So you can actually get the trades, some trades to come in the morning, some trades that come in the afternoon. You've got to be really well organised to do something like this, and that's where a schedule comes in extremely handy. Now I've done this in basically 13-14 minutes, but realistically speaking, to do a proper bathroom renovation, I'd sit down, do the schedule. It'd probably take me a good half a day or a day to map out the schedule, speak to the trades, speak to the suppliers, work out what the lead times are, and get everyone booked in for dates. The reason we do this is just so that you can be organised, you can have your trades turning up at the right time. You're not calling them the day before to say, look, I'm not going to be ready for you for another couple of days, and then the problem could be that you lose the guys for another week because they have to go to another job, and then the job just ends up blowing out. So it's all about being organised and what you can do to schedule things in. So let's have a quick look at this job that we've actually done here. So we saw the before photos. Let's actually have a look at some of the during and after. So with these photos, this was the bathroom being stripped out in a day. We gutted that. That was the shell. We then have the carpenters come in and put up all the framing for where the cabinetry is going to go. Next stage, at the same day, we actually cut out the floor and got ready for the plumber for his drainage. Then we plumber put all his drainage in. We put some heated flooring down on the floor, waterproofed it all. And then Tyler came in and started his works. So basically, after the tiling was done, we then come back to the finished product, and you can see here a lot brighter, opens the room a lot more. Putting the basin at the wall-hung toilet just brings everything up off the floor and just makes it feel a bit more spacious. Got some marble splashback in here. Put in the mirrored shaving cabinets above, bit of LED lighting. They came up quite nice. Alright guys, so that's the template that I use. You're more than welcome to have a copy of this. I don't claim to be an Excel expert. As you can see, there is some problems with some of the data and the sums in here, but it's something to play around with, and it at least gives you a bit of a start on something that you can get a bit of an idea on how to map out your trades, how the critical path is going to work, and really just get organised for your next project. Alright, so I hope that helps. Any questions, feel free to drop us an email. Thanks guys.